Cowboy Up. That's the first thing you're going to see on a website called horsesforheroes.org. That's the name of a program that offers a unique way to help our active duty military and veterans after they return home from battle. Horses for Heroes New Mexico and its Cowboy Up program is a nonprofit that teaches horsemanship and ranching skills free of charge to military members who've sustained physical injuries or suffer from PTSD. The organization was founded and run by veterans who teach fellow soldiers new skills to help with the transition from the battlefield to life here at home. Now, here's the thing. I've personally worked with Horses for Heroes, and it's a great, great organization, and they are great people. The attention and time they give to our troops is something that most of them will never, ever get, but all of them deserve. Horses for Heroes has helped hundreds of soldiers, and they plan to expand the program's reach. I'm joined by my friend, Rick Iannucci. He's the founder and executive director of Horses for Heroes New Mexico and the Cowboy Up program, a former Green Beret and retired U.S. Marshal. How you doing?
Andrew, how are you today?
Well, you know, you and I talk regularly, sort of off air, so we're real casual with one another. But you know how proud I am to be associated with this organization in whatever small role I play with getting the word out or helping to raise money. And it was unbelievable for me to come out to your ranch and ride with some of these guys to see just how effective your program is.
Well, you know, Andrew, as a journalist, you didn't have to do any of that stuff, but it was interesting to all the guys, and that's why you're a rock star with our group here. You chose to go through the program, at least in micro, and that impressed everybody to the nth degree.
Well, you didn't know I could ride a horse.
You're a rock star.
You didn't know I could ride it.
We didn't care.
We have the picture up right there of me riding with you about 2 years ago. The first person I met besides you was Sergeant Chris Chase, and we're going to talk about him in a little bit. And he said to me, "I'm honored to ride horses with you." And I was like taken aback. "What, are you kidding? You're the one who's protecting my freedom." And he said to me, this is what made me really, I mean, I was already on board. But he said to me, and he was holding up a motion like he was holding a bag. He said, "Since I've been here, I haven't taken the bag of med from my head or the bag of meds from my back." And that was so impressive to me, that there was this unbelievable way for someone like him to break free of the people in the lab coach just writing prescriptions. And then when we sat around the breakfast table after that ride, and he told me some of those horrific stories about the way he was treated in a supermarket and a coffee shop and parking with his disabled veterans plate, I said I knew I had to do something here.
Absolutely. You know, we have a very, very deep connection with the Native American veterans. And one of the veterans said to me, one of the Native American veterans said to me, he says, "You know, horses are the connection between the physical and the spiritual world. And this is one of the things, and this is one of the ways that we start the healing process here." So it's such a critical part of what we do, and I think Chris is benefiting by this. Chris is just one of our guys benefiting by this, and gals too. One of the things that we see, Andrew, is we start seeing a transformation with the horses as we transition into ranch work. We see you know, we always called it post-traumatic spiritual disorder from the way we look at it. And we stand by that. And one of the things that we see is the veterans, as part of the healing process, start, and Chris being one of them, they start getting faith in themselves again. Then they start getting faith in others. They start getting that connection again. And then finally faith in God. And when we see all these three things coming together, it's almost like magic out there at the ranch. And you know, you've experienced it. You rode with the guys. You rode next to them. You felt the vibe, so to speak, with Chris and Mark and Chuck and all the guys that were riding with you that day. And I know that you know, and we know that it works.
Well, here's the thing. Before we're going to wrap up with the horrific car accident that Chris was in, but I want to talk about the expansion of the program, because I don't care if this turns into motorcycles for heroes or recording studios for heroes or ski poles for heroes. Talk about how you're expanding the program with the help of Governor Martinez in New Mexico.
Well, Governor Martinez's husband, Chuck, is one of our volunteers. And they have a son, of course, Carlo, who is actually a Navy veteran, special boat guy, and war hero, 4 tours, Iraq, Afghanistan, you name it. He's retired now. We started with Chuck with an idea about the corrections department. He started thinking about bringing this program into the jails, and or could we put horses out at one of the facilities that had a lot of land here in New Mexico? And I said, Chuck, let me give it some thought and see what I can come up with. And of course, his wife Susanna is behind it 100%. She's been one of our big supporters. Anyway, I started giving it some thought, and I said, hold on a second. Let's get the Department of Veterans Services together. Tim Hale, Cabinet Secretary Tim Hale, who's forward-thinking, special ops Air Force guy, that's the new director. Let's get Greg Mercantile from the Corrections Department involved, and Whitty from the Agriculture Department involved, which we did. They were already playing with some ideas about how to deal with these unwanted and not abused, but unwanted and rescue type horses that are plaguing New Mexico right now due to the drought.